Good morning. Thank you for being here today. What we're doing this morning is we're introducing a package of bills that are going to be about job creation here in Michigan. We want to get Michigan economy back on the track, and most of all, we want to get Michigan's people back to work. The best way to describe this, and I don't have my red carpet with me this morning, but basically what we're doing is we're rolling up the red tape and we're rolling out the red carpet here in Michigan. The last decade, Michigan has lost almost 1 million jobs. We must improve this situation. We need to get the obstacles out of the way. According to Site Selection magazine, business executives look at the ease of permitting and regulating procedures in Michigan, and we score, quite frankly, very low. What we're doing is we're introducing a package of 8 bills, and I'm going to let each one of the sponsors speak to it. My bill in the package is going to basically make regulations in the state of Michigan no more difficult than the regulations that are currently in place by the federal government. I'm going to let John Pappageorge, Senator Pappageorge, speak to his.
My bill simply clarifies the authority that the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules has. And it points out that we not only can look at new rules, but if anyone has a rule that doesn't make much sense anymore, they can bring it before JCAR, and we can see about either eliminating or changing that rule. And it's really important to understand what the rules are doing to us. Somebody wants to come to Michigan, and whatever the tax burden is, he can figure it out and put it in his bottom line. When he says, when can I put a shovel in the ground, and the answer is humma humma, he's not coming to Michigan. And so we've got to clear away those obstacles, as Mike said earlier. Thank you.
Good morning. Senator Dave Hildenbrand from the Grand Rapids area. My bill will basically require the department, all 3 departments, environmental quality, DNR, and the Department of Agriculture, to implement peer review programs. Basically, the concept is to look at outside interest, private interest, to look at what they're doing in the private industries and how we can implement those best practices through our permitting and regulatory process here in the state. So we hope we can find some efficiencies, best practices, with a sort of ultimate goal of creating a better business environment in the state. So, thank you.
Thank you. My name is Tom Casperson. I'm the senator from the 38th District, which is the Upper Peninsula. My bill deals with the timely issues concerning the permitting process. When job providers come into our state, they're not trying to avoid the permit process, but they do believe that it should be done in a timely fashion. We're hoping that what we're trying to achieve here today, that will happen. We also, the bill also tries to address the concept of the regulation changing through the process. We want to address that and make sure that there's certainty. For job providers to come into our state not knowing there's certainty when a rule or regulation is presented to them and could actually be changed midway through the process of the development, those type of things we're going to try and address with the bill that I've got. Thank you.
Senator Phil Pavlov, representing St. Clair and Lapeer County. The intent of my bill is to put a more formalization on the inspections. We want to be able to stratify and use the resources of our inspectors to be able to get around to all of the potential inspection sites rather than in the past we've singled out specific industries for inspections that have been an undue burden on their bottom line. What we want to be able to do is develop a random selection where everybody is on the hook for a potential inspection, and it isn't just concentrated in one specific area. So what we hope to be able to do with this bill is to be able to spread out our resources, which are limited due to budgets, to be able to cover more ground and get away from concentrated areas. So appreciate you guys coming today.
Thank you. It's my bill. What it does is it gets the Michigan regulatory climate improved a little bit. We're sponsoring a legislation that would require our state agencies to periodically review existing rules. Then they can weed out any ineffective or inefficient rules that we have. We need to make sure that regulations continue to serve a relevant purpose. It's just common sense that we look over our bills every 6 years. Is in the bill that every 6 years we're looking at all of our regulations to make sure that they're still relevant.
I've been in the construction business my entire life, and some of the biggest complaints that we hear from people in the construction industry, it's not wage taxes for the most part, it's over-regulation here in Michigan. Michigan is one of the most heavily regulated states in the union, and quite frankly, we score very low in that regard when being compared against all the other states. NFIB will be releasing a report here in the next couple of weeks showing exactly how we do score in comparative to the other states of the union. You've heard quite frequently that Michigan loses more jobs to Indiana than we do to India. And we're here today to start us in another direction and start bringing these jobs back in the state. And most importantly, we need to take care of the companies that are here.